Welcome back to Merchant Bay Village, and welcome back to the farm. Today we are going to build the outdoor marketplace, featuring none other than Haldor himself. His spawn location in this world was the inspiration for this village build concept. If you would like to watch the farm episode before watching this one, click the card above or pause this video now and follow the link in the description below. Let me show you the few changes I've made here at the farm, then we'll get to work at the outdoor marketplace. The original fence was put up without a whole lot of care. I rebuilt it to give it a more orderly appearance. In real life, things are seldom in perfect order. I like to reflect that in-game by adding some imperfections. This section of fence appears to be missing some top rails. The illusion is created by sinking the fence lower into the ground. You can achieve this through the use of a 45-degree wooden beam. As you move along the angle of the beam, the fence is pushed lower into the ground. Over here I've placed log poles with raised up fences to give the illusion of open gates. These gates were here before, but the gate posts were square wood poles instead of log poles. I think the round logs better convey the idea that these gates could be rotated open or closed. After learning the ballista, I added this half-circle outcrop to the retaining wall to provide some village defense. This area looks like it would be a muddy place, so I've added a simple walkway for the farmer to get to his raft, and I purposely damaged it to give it a time-worn appearance. I've never been sure how to finish off the retaining wall, so I've left a pile of stones and a few old boards to suggest that perhaps it's not quite finished yet. Let's head over to Haldor and the outdoor market. I like to use an organic building style. I prefer not to level the ground or even cut down trees. But I've realized that I'm going to have to do a bit of both in order to complete the outdoor marketplace. I'll explain more after I show you what's already been built. This structure was built a long time ago. It started out as a round seawall. Partway through building it, I decided to make it a raised platform instead. I never much cared for how it looked and had no idea what to do with it, but I was determined to keep it and make it work. In time, I decided that it would be a gathering place, a sort of Viking food court for market days, and a place for the locals to gather in the evenings. But it was going to need more than just a low stone wall perimeter to make it interesting. At first I tried adding a half-round roof. I marked off the size I wanted, then got busy on the woodwork that would support it. I got as far as putting on a shingle roof before deciding that it wasn't the right look. I abandoned the large roof idea and went for this outdoor kitchen design instead. I like to imagine that this platform was here long before our settlers arrived and named this place Merchant Bay. Its original purpose lost to time, they restored it from its semi-ruined condition and put it to good use. The rectangular kitchen up against the curved stone wall feels tacked on and helps to convey the notion that the platform was repurposed. To give the platform more depth and color contrast, I created these wood panels to hold banners. The other side proved the perfect place to mount a sconce. The panels help to enclose the area and define its space, while still maintaining an outdoor feel. Before I had the idea for the panels, I used the white and red banner as table skirts. So when it came time to place banners on the wood panels, I decided to use white banners, red banners, and the white and red banner. This then inspired some new lore for the village. The original artisans that settled this area were from two different clans. One clan flew the white banner, the other flew the red. In time, as their settlement flourished and their community grew stronger, they united their individual clan colors, and the white and red became the official banner of Merchant Bay. Here's the Haldor spawn that inspired this village build. This kiosk was an experimental design. I liked the way it turned out, so I kept it. More kiosks will be built to fill out the marketplace. I had wanted only simple kiosks for the outdoor marketplace, but in order to display all these clothes, I needed something that could hold a lot of armor stands, and it makes sense that a clothier would want full coverage overhead to protect their wares from sudden bad weather. As it is, there is not a lot of good space around here for more kiosks. There is space to be had here, but it will mean altering the terrain and cutting down some trees. I'd rather not do that, but I really have no choice. If this outdoor marketplace is to be impressive enough that Haldor decides to set up shop and residence here, it will need a lot more vendors than these. Let's get to work. These walls were a first attempt at defining the edges of the road. We'll come up with something better later on, but right now they are in the way. In the interest of altering the terrain as little as possible, I'm going to pathen the ground. The hoe, in pathen mode, removes all vegetation but does not alter the terrain below it. With the vegetation removed, the slopes, dips, and bumps of the terrain are more easily seen. This will reveal the areas that can be made usable with the least amount of alteration. With the plots chosen and the terrain revealed, let's level the ground and start building. The footprint of the original kiosk design is a 4 by 2 meter rectangle with a curved back section. A 45-degree thatch roof ridge is supported on 3-meter tall wood poles. The rear section is partially covered with 45-degree thatch roof pieces. Proper shops will eventually be built around the bay, but these kiosks are meant to be used only on outdoor market days. I've never clearly defined when market days occur, as it makes no difference to us or to the build. They could be on the weekends, or during the full moon, or perhaps every other Thursday. This small kiosk is of a different design. The wood stair pieces are used as shelves to display items for sale. Here is another unique design. It's a roofless platform with an area to park a cart. I didn't plan this, it's just what happened when I started building. The downside to not building from a plan is that you may end up not liking what you create and decide to tear it down. The upside is that an unexpected result can fuel new ideas. Unlike the clothier, the merchant who owns this most likely sells items that won't be ruined in a sudden downpour. So far, I haven't had to cut down any trees, but this spot right here looks like a good place for another kiosk. There's still more kiosks yet to be built, but you'll see those during the final tour. Besides the obvious buying and selling, market days are also a festive occasion with lots of food and drink. The farm and the storage barn are about to pay off in a big way. The crops grown at the farm will provide many of the ingredients needed to make the food that will fill the tables. And the storage barn contains all of the materials necessary to create the multitude of items that will fill the merchant's kiosks. At least I hope it does. If not, I'll have to do some off-camera farming. Imagine we are villagers in this world. Tomorrow starts another round of outdoor market days. Buyers and traders have been arriving for hours now, and the inn is already full. Others have set up camp in the woods, and many more will come and go in the days ahead. The lighthouse has been stocked with piles of wood, and until the market closes again, the lighthouse keeper will have to get most of his sleep during the daylight hours. There will be no festivities this night, not even at the inn. There will be plenty of time for that during the nights to come. The merchants have packed their carts with items for sale, ready for the early morning haul to the outdoor marketplace. A few are still hurriedly trying to find a place in their cart for one or two more things. Soon, all are sleeping. Good morning. It's finally market day. Before sunrise, the merchants will have made their way to the outdoor marketplace to fill the shelves with their handiwork. Let's go and meet them and see what they have for sale. When I first found Haldor, I built this, a simple hut to place a bed and a few other necessities. Not wanting to tear it down, I've made it a part of the marketplace by turning it into a bait and tackle shop. The weapons merchant sells a variety of melee weapons, including the sword, axe, and mace. Perhaps you prefer a polearm, or something else to get your point across. This metalworker creates high-quality tools and utensils. The hammer and wood axe, the cultivator, pickaxe and hoe, cooking utensils, and a variety of blacksmithing tools. Whatever your need, passion, or trade, this merchant can craft the tools that you'll want to get the job done. In a village filled with artisans, the tools and utensils merchant is a highly respected man. The clothier is one of Merchant Bay's wealthiest merchants. His family are tailors and dressmakers and importers of all manner of textiles. As you would expect, the bowyer makes and sells bows. She also makes crossbows and spears. Not only does she craft and sell these items, but she is also an expert in the use of all three. She is a hunter for the village and an archer for the Merchant Bay Guard. This merchant specializes in fine goods. She is not an artisan herself, but she has an eye for quality. The success of her business relies on the skilled craftsmanship of others and her own shrewd negotiating skills. Whether they be made of wood or metal or other exotic materials, the shield merchant makes shields for a variety of defensive purposes, as well as decorative shields like those that can be seen hanging on the walls of many of the buildings around Merchant Bay. Armor must be custom made for each warrior. The armor on display here shows the style and quality of craftsmanship that the armorer is capable of. If you want your own armor from this artisan, you will have to stand for measurements, pay in advance, then be prepared to wait. The manufacture of a single piece may take many months to complete. This small produce stand is run by a local family. They are not farmers by trade, but their family farm usually generates more food than they need for themselves. Their daughter is tasked with the job of selling it here on market days. Lately, there have been some newcomers to the marketplace. They've set up back here by the ruins. This new section of the market is affectionately known as Ruined Row. There are only 3 of them at the present moment, but who knows what the future may bring. As they say around here, any day is a good day for fishing. If you're not interested in catching your own fish, you can purchase them from the fishmonger. His fish are kept on ice to keep them fresh. Some people mistake this ice for a wolf rug. Imagine fish on a wolf rug. That's just crazy talk. All right, you've seen enough of that one. This outdoor bread oven was built by the local baker. On market days, an apprentice to the village bakery is assigned to work here. Not only does she get to practice her baking skills, but she's left entirely to her own devices, choosing the recipes and setting the price. A most valuable experience. The leatherworker's craft relies on quite a number of different skills. Tanning, cutting, dyeing, and sewing, to name a few. This craftsman is also a proficient furrier, as well as a hunter and a gatherer who makes his own dyes and many of his own tools. As the sun begins to set on this opening day, talk of buying and selling slowly turns to talk of eating and drinking. Thoughts of trading and bartering begin to be replaced with thoughts of singing and dancing. With its tables laid out for a feast and full kegs of mead at the ready, the food court, largely ignored by day, becomes the prime area of interest by evening. A structure once left to ruin by a forgotten people has been re-established as a place of celebration for a new people. If you've enjoyed this video, I hope you will consider liking and subscribing. There's really no better way to help ensure future content from this channel. I hope you've enjoyed your time here at Merchant Bay. I'll meet you here at the Outdoor Marketplace next time, and we'll build something new. Special thanks to Dad and Abby of Abby K Gaming, Splash of Splash O'Pain, and Captain Crumbs of Captain Crumbs Gaming. Several scenes in this video wouldn't have been possible without their help. Links to their channels in the description below.
All I want to do is bump Dad in the water.
Oh, well, that can be
There's
arranged.
nobody's stopping you,
You know,
really.
if you trick him into sitting down, and we can push him into the water.
Yeah. Oh, you should sit down here and relax, Dad. It's such a lovely day.
Yeah,
at the beach.
I'm used to it.
Get him! Get him!
Yeah.